Murtaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhur Ujjwala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairargya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambode Padambujayate Namaha नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय ते गौरवीर्भाव भूमस्त्वं निर्देश सज्जन प्रियः वैष्णव सर्वभौमः श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यगेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये हरिप्रिये sorry I left हे कृष्णा करुणा जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गोर्मम मन्दं मतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्बोजौ राधामदनमोहनौ दिव्याद् वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रौ मादः श्रीमद्रत्नाङ्गार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधाशीलगोविन्ददेवौ प्रीष्टालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमन् रासरसारम्भी वंशवटत्ततस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रियेस्तु नः तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री प्रभुपाद की जय श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय हरे कृष्णा
Thanks, Shauji. Thank you so much. Jai.
Good job, Akshara. The last class,
Yeah.
we are in chapter 15, Prabhu. Last class we did 10, 11 and 12, 3 verses, Prabhu. So the class started, we had a discussion on, are we carrying our senses to the next body? You explained to us, yes, we do. Like this, we carry the subtle senses, but the gross senses are the placeholder where the subtle senses get placed. And you explained to us with the Ferrari car example. That was very nice. So following that, we moved into 10th verse. 10th verse is where the living moves from one body to another. It carries aroma. So that's what like looking through the lens of the knowledge to know who we are. This is referring to the spiritual master. He can help us. He is the conduit through which we receive the knowledge to know who we are. Mudas don't understand that the jivas reside in the body, not realizing jiva enjoys leaving the body. So this one he said refer to Bhagavad Gita 2.29. That Asharyam, you told to refer to that. And the person in the knowledge can understand that. He can understand it all ends in misery. Oh yeah, you told us about the 3 kinds of dukkha. Parinama dukkha, tapa dukkha and samskara dukkha. It does not mean that we will stop living. You remember Krishna lotus feet in everything. Rejecting everything is called Falgu Vairagya. We should practice Yukta Vairagya. So use those things in the service of Krishna. So that's what we discussed on verse 10. Verse 11 is the yogis endeavoring, even though they are endeavoring, they cannot see the soul. This also applies to Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yogas and everything. Bhakti Yoga, 5 minutes, Akshara, then I'm going to finish this. Bhakti Yoga is easier in this age. Then you said, Jnana Chakshu. Okay, wait. Jnana Chakshushu might be there, but it is convoluted in philosophy for the jnana yogis. Realizing we are the soul is not enough. Understanding soul, Prakriti, Bhagavan, and relation between these three is required to realize. So you said that theoretical knowledge is required, but practical aspect should also be there. Here we discussed about the examples from Bhagavatam. We said Shukadev Goswami. Why was he chosen to speak the Bhagavatam? Because he is a truly renounced soul. No ulterior motives. And Jadabarada, the teachings to King Rahugana. Those are the examples we discussed, Prabhu. And then, in this, he said like uh, the there are steps for the practical realization sadhana bhakti. So engage in these activities for the pleasure of Bhagavan. Then we talked about, you referred to Chetano Darpana Marjanam. So that reflects when you clean up the mirror, what happens? You see the item which is closest to the mirror. So the closest is the Paramatma, Bhagavan interior. Our job is to do sadhana bhakti and the result will come automatically. We don't have to think about why is the result coming or not coming. So what is the effect? So this is the effect is performing kirtan, not true to the work on, not true to work for the results, but perform kirtan. And then verse 12, we quickly discussed on what is verse 12 about. It's it talks about the light. All action starts when sun comes, like moon gets nourished by so the all the light which is produced from sun, moon, fire, these are all Krishna's vibhuti, which is required for the living entities. Extension of sunlight. When you see sun, moon, how do you remember Krishna? And then you also told us about boiling the water. So how do you remember Krishna? We said like Damodar pastime for boiling milk, but boiling water is Kalia's pastime. All these things are pointed towards increasing our remembrance of Krishna's lotus feet. That's all I have written, Prabhu.
Wonderful. I don't know about how much more can you write. You already wrote everything. So,
Since I listened to it today, Prabhu, I can remember it. If I did not listen, I will be like blanked out. I don't even remember what we talked last time.
no, but it's very nice. Thank you so much. Very
Thank you,
wonderful.
Prabhu.
One more point to share is the one, the point you mentioned about this theoretical knowledge, but also the practical aspect as well, right? So when I heard that now, I remember one more thing about that part is Srila Govind Maharaj, he used to say, Krishna is a theoretical speaker, but Mahaprabhu is a practical teacher. That makes sense?
So we should frame that for Haribol.
Maharaj Govind Maharaj says,
That is
Krishna is a
very
theoretical speaker,
yeah,
Mahaprabhu is a practical teacher.
yeah.
Because Krishna told what? Sarvadharmam parityajya mamekam sharanam Ananya chintayanto mamijana paripasate. Right? All those Krishna, the big things Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita. Did he ever do anything? No.
We
But
just
we
read
follow.
the introduction for Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhu. Same
Okay.
thing was said. See
Oh, okay, wonderful.
how
That's not
Chaitanya
part.
Mahaprabhu was like practically showing us how
Okay.
to do Sankirtan.
Yeah, I did that. I was in different class. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Introduction. Right? So exactly. So um, Krishna showed all, but Krishna we call Krishna as Krishna Mande Jagat Guru. What kind of guru is that who doesn't practice what he preaches? Right? So and who can be better to tell or to preach or to show how to do something than Bhagavan himself. So Bhagavan himself came as Mahaprabhu to teach how to become bhakti unto himself, to himself. Right? That's Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That's external reason, of course, but yeah. Okay. I just remember that particular part of Mahaprabhu. Okay, so we stopped at. Thanks, Ramya. Thank you for joining. Uh, we started
Thank you,
again.
Prabhu.
We started at verse number 11
No,
or
we finished at
12.
12, Prabhu. 13th verse we should start.
13th, right? Okay, okay, perfect. Would you like to read the verse, 13th verse?
I'll read, Prabhu.
Okay.
1 minute, Prabhu. So you can hear me, right? I'm on my
Yes, yes.
headphone. Okay. 1 minute. Sorry, just opening the verse. Did you say 13th or?
Yes, Anta.
Okay,
15:30.
15.13. Okay. Gam avishyaya च भूतानि धारयामि अहमोजसा उष्णामि चौषधीः सर्वाः सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः. Okay. Gam, the planets, Avishya, entering, Cha, also, Bhutani, the living entities, Dharayami, sustain, Aham, I, Ojasa, by my energy, Pushnami, I am nourishing, Cha, and Aushadhihi, vegetables, Sarvaha, all, Somaha, the moon, Bhutva, becoming, Rasatmaka, supplying the juice. Translation purport by His Divine Grace C.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: I enter into each planet and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. Purport: it is understood that all the planets are floating in the air only by the energy of the Lord. The Lord enters into every atom, every planet, and every living being. That is discussed in the Brahma Samhita. It is said there that one plenary portion of the Supreme Personative Godhead, Paramatma, enters into the planets, the universe, the living entity, and even into the atom. So, due to his entrance, everything is appropriately manifested. When the spirit's soul is there, a living man can float on the water. But when the living spark is out of the body and the body is dead, the body sinks. Of course, when it is decomposed, it floats just like straw and other things. But as soon as the man is dead, he at once sinks in the water. Similarly, all these planets are floating in space. This is due to the entrance of the supreme personality of the. This is due to the entrance of the supreme energy of the supreme personality of Godhead. His energy is sustaining each planet, just like a handful of dust. If someone holds a handful of dust, there is no possibility of the dust falling, but if one throws it in the air, it will fall down. Similarly, these planets, which are floating in the air, are actually held in the fist of the universal form of the Supreme Lord. By his strength and energy, all moving and non moving things stay in their place. It is said in the Vedic hymns that because of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the sun is shining and the planets are steadily moving. Were it not for him, all the planets would scatter like dust in air and perish. Similarly, it is due to the Supreme Personality of Godhead that the moon nourishes all vegetables. Due to the moon's influence, the vegetables become delicious. Without the moonshine, the vegetables can neither grow nor taste succulent. Human society is working, living comfortably and enjoying food due to the supply from the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, mankind could not survive. The word Rasatmaka is very significant. Everything becomes palatable by the agency of the Supreme Lord through the influence of the moon. Jai, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Aisha, thank you so much. Jay, any thoughts, anything on this verse? No. Nice. Okay. So this could go reverse. Okay. So Gam Avishya cha Bhutani. Gam means planet. Gam has many meaning. Gam also means has cows, everything. But here Gam means planets. Entering Avishya. मतलब enter करना. Okay. Gam Avishya cha Bhutani. Okay. Dharayami aham ojasa. Ojasa means my strength, my power, my energy. Ojas, power, right? By my power, I enter the planets and dharayami, I hold them. Okay. Then pushrami. Yeah. Or as it can also mean, ga means earth. I make the earth float, or I make the earth firm by entering into it. Okay, it also mean that. Ga means earth. Then pushnami cha aushadhi sarva. Pushnami means I nourish. Cha aushadhi. Aushadhi means herbs or vegetables. Called them in herbs and medicinal plants. Sarva, all the plants, all vegetables, I make it pushnami by nourish it. How? By soma. Soma has what? By rasa. Somras, rasatmaka. By becoming the moon, soma means the moon. I become the moon, basically, you can say. I become the moon, and by the energy of the moon, I supply juice. Rasa also means juice. I supply juice to and nourish all the vegetables so that can palatable. Okay, that's the meaning of this verse. Make sense? Okay. Now Krishna here says here, ended each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. Okay, with support, I become the moon, and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. So who remembers what is the verse Krishna talking about? Prabhupada talks about the first line. They're all interested to each and every atom, every planet, every living being. Brahma Samhita. Who remembers the verse? Or at least the phrase, the line of the verse.
Brahma,
Paramanu. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. Brahmadisha Jagadanda. Oh, I don't know.
Okay, very good.
Jagadanda
Yeah, go ahead.
Satani Sute.
Then?
Traigunya Tadvishaya Veda Vitayamana. Is that the one,
No,
Prabhu?
not that one.
Okay.
Paramanu is the word I'm trying to remember the verse.
Yes. Starting of the line. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. Right? Anda, antaram, the egg. Parmanu means the atom. The smallest basically. Chaya astham. I sit with every atom of the universe. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. Antarastham. Antar means inside. Stham. Antara paramanu stham. Situated. Okay. Now, yeah. So Purpose will give you example by having, the living body can float, dead body can't. That means Krishna is giving that energy. But the soul is there. The soul, how is the soul uh, be able to sustain whatever? Because Krishna's power. Right? Because we are part of parcel of Shri Krishna. So here Krishna says, Gam avishya cha bhutani dharayami. So Bhakti Vidya Bhushan says that I entering the earth, which is a lump of dust, I make it firm and thus support all moving non-living beings. So without me entering my mind, Shakti entering, the earth will fall like fist of sand. Purpose is here, like sand. Okay, and if you consider earth, here also comes earth. I make the earth float by my energy. So when I read that, I was remembering a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. So you see my screen? Not yet, maybe not yet. Okay. This is from the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Voice not. Okay. Third canto Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. It's titled Varahadev and battle between Varahadev and Hiranyaksha. We see here, Sir Gam. Which word is there? Gam. Which word here? Gam. Earth. Here, Prabhupada answer is that earth. And what, how? Huh? Swasatvam. By his own existence. So if you see here, the verse, translation, Prabhupada says, the Lord placed her within his sight on the surface of the water and transferred to her his own energy in the form of the ability to float on the water. What Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita. Example is given right here in Bhagavatam. Okay? So here, Varahadev kept moving the wheel. And then, okay? So just sort of sharing the verse. Okay, let's get back. Now stop sharing it. Okay. Then Krishna says, Pushnami Chaushadhi Sarva. And I become the Soma. I become Bhutva. Bhutva means become. I become what? By becoming Soma, I Pushtam nourish. Aushadhi, all Aushadhis. How? By Rasatmaka. By becoming Rasa. I nourish all plants and rice, everything. For whom? For the Jivas situated on the earth. And Rasa also means taste. How are we able to feel the taste of vegetables? Because of moonshine. Okay? Whatever taste we can. So if let's say, oh, but there are plants which doesn't only grows in sun, doesn't need moonshine. Okay. Krishna says, Rasoham apse kaunteya. taste of water. Basically, we feel taste, we can detect taste. If we feel things are tasty, or whatever taste, maybe bitter, sweet, whatever it is, because the saliva, water on our tongue. That is because of Krishna also. Krishna says, if moon doesn't, when we are giving arguments for moon, we are arguing for tongue. Krishna has covered both angles. Okay. Any questions on this? Very simple, very small verse.
There was a point about all the planets staying in the orbit, right? We've read like how Anantashesh is the one holding, the planets in orbit, and if his hoods move a bit, that's when we experience pralaya. If that understand the earthquake.
Pralaya?
No, earthquake, sorry, not pralaya.
No,
The
not
tectonic
necessarily.
plates.
No. Where do you read that? Just curious to know.
No, I think I read it in Shubha Vilas Prabhu's books, children's books about Anantashesh.
No. So the earthquakes are all Daivik. You know, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, Adhyatmik.
Huh?
The earthquake, the tsunami, flood, everything is part of Adi Daivik Klesha. Now
Okay.
Anantashesh moving. Anantashesh doesn't even feel the US running is hitting on his head. It's a mustard seed on your head. What will you feel like? Not because of that. For kids, it may sound like, but it's not.
Yeah, maybe for
Not that.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, Prabhu.
it's not
Okay.
that. But the other thing you said about floating, right? Sorry, you said. But what was the first question, Anita? If you told them the first part of the question.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
Oh, okay.
No, he's asking you the first part of the question.
Uh, I don't know if I answered that or.
Yeah, you answered, Prabhu. Yeah, even I said, Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, and Adhyatmik. Yeah, makes sense. Prabhu.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
That's it. Perfect. So basically, Krishna is saying again. So in 7th chapter, Krishna gave some examples. 9th chapter, the entire 10th chapter. Again, now in the 13th, 15th chapter, Krishna has given all these different uddipans, different stimulants by which we can remember him. Next time when we say, oh, the planets are moving, we can see Jupiter coming, we can see or whatever coming right on the sky. Or we can see Jupiter today, we can see Mars today, on same line, whatever it is. Astronomy when we read, whatever. The planets are floating, the celestial objects, they are present there. हवा में. How? Because of Krishna energy. Again, to remember Krishna. Okay? Then say, we feel taste cheese. Oh, what's very nice sabji. Oh, very nice. How will we feel the taste? When we add apple, sweetness of apple, or tartiness of lemon, whatever. Because of what? Pushnami chaushadhi sarva somo bhutva rasatmaka. Okay? Again, you say it's stimulant. Krishna saying, remember me. Whatever you do, however, yena kena prakarena mana Krishna devishayet. To remember me. Okay? Krishna will give much more many more, few more examples now. Okay? The next one is especially very nice. Any questions on this verse? We go ahead. Once, twice, twice. Okay. Who will read the next verse? I would like to read. 14th verse. Thank you.
वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचामि अन्नं चतुर्विधम्. Synonyms: aham, I, Vaishvanaraha, my plenary portion as the digesting fire. Bhutva, becoming. Praninam, of all living entities. Deham, in the bodies. Ashritaha, situated. Prana, the outgoing air. Apana, the downgoing air. Samayukta, keeping in balance. Pachami, I digest. Annam, foodstuff. Chaturvidam, the four kinds. Translation: I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life outgoing and incoming to digest the four kinds of foodstuffs. Purpose. According to Ayurvedic Shastra, we understand that there is a fire in the stomach which digests all food sent there. When the fire is not blazing, there is no hunger. And when the fire is in order, we become hungry. Sometimes, when the fire is not going nicely, treatment is required. In any case, this fire is representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedic mantras, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 5.9.1, also confirm that the Supreme Lord or Brahman is situated in the form of fire within the stomach and is digesting all kinds of foodstuffs. Ayam Agnir Vaishvanaro Yuayam Antapurushayenedam Annam Pachyate. Therefore, since he is helping the digestion of all kinds of foodstuffs, the living entity is not independent in the eating process. Unless the Supreme Lord helps him in digesting, there is no possibility of eating. He thus produces and digests foodstuffs, and by his grace we are enjoying life. In the Vedanta Sutra 1.2.27, this is also confirmed. Shabdadibhyo antaha pratishtanacha. The Lord is situated within the sound and within the body, within the air, and even within the stomach as the digestive force. There are four kinds of food stuff. Some are drunk, some are chewed, some are licked up, and some are sucked. And he's the digestive force of all of them. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, thanks so much. Vivek. Jay, any thoughts on this? Any point, anything? Any reflections? Yes. Yes.
Prabhu, what do they mean when fire is not going nicely?
Many don't have good digestion or don't feel hungry enough.
Okay. Okay.
So we call it Jatragni. Jatra means stomach, Agni.
Mm.
So Bhima is called Vikrodara. Vrika is another Agni, the fire. It's intense. That's why he used to eat a lot. So if you feel a
Yes.
lot of fire in the stomach, you can digest, keep, and you will still not get fat.
Uh,
If you can, more digestive power, you can have more. You can get more hungry. Means fire digestion is very strong.
okay.
To sustain, you have to keep feeding it Agni.
Mm.
To Agni to keep alive, you keep feeding it, right? Or you go
Yes.
down. That's what it means. Anything else? Right? Okay. So Krishna is here. Aham, I, Vaishwanara Bhutva. I become. Bhutva means exist. I become. I become the Vaishwanara, the fire of digestion. And Pranidam Devashita. And I take Ashita, take shelter of the body of the living entity. I become the fire of stomach, extending small body, come in the shelter of the body, and become the fire in the body. Krishna saying. And I engage with what? Pranina. I engage with the prana, apana. All different breathings, right? The five kind of vayu, which actually prana and apana especially helps in digestion. I become combined with them to help in digestion, aid digestion. Okay? Prana, apana. So pranam deham ashita. Then prana, apana samayukta. So here by mixing with prana and apana, the vayu, some prana, apana, saman, multiple, five of them. I become prana, apana के साथ मिलते हुए, joining with Pachami means I digest. Annam, the foodstuff. How many kind of foodstuff? Chaturvidham. Four kinds of foodstuffs. So I become the fire of digestion and take shelter in the body of the living entity and combine with prana, apana, vayu. I digest four kinds of foodstuffs. That's basic of the verse. Okay. So now, proposing the purport. Yeah, I will say this fire in the stomach. Of course, there's no literal fire, but the burning, feeding, book लग रही है that this is stomach. Okay, the fire like it's like fire. When fire is not blazing here, there's no hunger. Yeah, When the fire is in order, we become hungry. Right? So Prabhupada here, this Bharatanyaka Upanishad quotes based on the commentary by Shabaldev Vidyabhushan. He says that this basically this verse of Bharatanyaka Upanishad says that Krishna Bhagavan himself becomes fire digestion. That's a literal statement in the Upanishad that the person becomes fire digestion in the stomach and the food is digested because of that. Okay, and then one more thing is so okay. So the previous verse and this verse talks about very important things. If you see, Krishna talked about the moon, Krishna talked about the sun. So all these things are extremely essential for us. We cannot live we cannot live without being dependent on these things. Sun, moon, digestion, right? So Krishna is saying, even though we don't acknowledge Krishna is so kind, he still is supposed to be supporting us, even though we don't acknowledge, even though people don't acknowledge them, like acknowledge him basically. Krishna is still providing support by helping their aid digestion, by giving sun, by giving the moon, everything. Right? So we are nevertheless fully dependent on Krishna, and that is why Krishna chose specific examples in this regard, previous verse and this verse also, because that is the most basic necessity of our life. Does it make sense? Right? So if you're not, so if the fire digestion is so, not coming to fire digestion is so important that if you're not hungry and still eat, it will cause problem. Right? So basically Krishna, we are fully dependent on Krishna at each and every point. Khana to basic hai. If we don't eat, we'll not live much long. So we are able to digest because of Krishna. Okay? Again, Krishna is showing us that how dependent we are on him. I'll give the examples. Okay? And if you see this, Krishna says that in 3 different levels. So if I have digestion in the body, which is inside the body, then Krishna supplying to all vegetables that is outside in the world, and I attend to each planet outside the earth. So in 3 different, we could say it in the body, terrestrial, extraterrestrial. That makes sense? All these different levels, Krishna is maintaining. Does it make sense? No.
You're saying basically Krishna is everywhere in 3 different levels, right?
Yes. So one on the bodily level by becoming the fire of digestion. Second, on the terrestrial level by supplying juice of life to all vegetables for sustain. And extraterrestrial, basically holding the entire planet or planets. Okay?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. So in these 2 levels, Krishna is showing the degree of his potency and our dependency on this. Okay? And Krishna says, Chaturvidham, 4 kinds of foodstuff. So what are 4 kinds? The one which is the chewed, licked, sucked, and sipped. Chewed, so bhakshyam. You can chew like bread or chana, whatever, chewing. Bhakshyam. Okay? Or called charvyam, also called charvyam. Bhakshyam, charvyam, but eating. Then sipping. Sipping basically means is bhojam, like soup, right? Bhojam. Bhakshyam means eating, chewing. Bhojam means sipping, like juice or milk or whatever. Then we have licking, layam, right? So layam would mean honey or raw sugar, honey basically, you could say, right? So these are layam, licking. Then we have sucking, ripe mango. With the kid, India we should maybe cut the top, right? Sucking. Sucking is called as chushyam, chusna, sucking, chushyam. So we have bhakshyam, bhojyam, layam, chushyam. Bhakshyam is eating, Then we have bhojya means drinking soup or sipping. Then we have leyam, licking. We have chushyam, we have sucking. Okay, clear? Bhakshyam, bhojyam, leyam, chushyam. Clear? Wishes?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Okay. One question is, have you heard this term anywhere before? This four thing, Chaturvidham? Anywhere else?
Chaturvida Bhajan Karanam. Oh, this is in Swadhana Triptan Haribhakta Sangam.
Hmm?
Triptam Bhajata Surya. In Guru Ashtakam also it comes, no?
Bolo, Shabash, very nice.
Chaturveda Shri Bhagavad Prasada Swadhana Triptan Haribhakta Sangam.
Yes, Chaturvidha Shri, four kind of footsteps. Chaturvidha Shri, right?
Oh, Hari Bol. Very nice, Prabhu.
Right? What kind of footstep? But Guru becomes extremely pleased by us serving all the devotees. Chaturvidha Shri, Bhagavad Prasado. So Bhagavad Prasad is four types. Swad Anna Triptan. By becoming very happy for forces. Hari Bhakta Sangha. By eating with devotees or forces, the Guru becomes very happy. By offering Prabhupada. That is this verse, this line. Okay, Chaturvidha. Four kinds of. What are the four kinds of stuff again? You can recite, you can repeat, or whatever.
Bhakshyam, bhojyam, lehyam, chushyam.
Okay, what does it mean, Shavash? Very nice.
Bhakshyam chewing, bhojyam
Mhm.
sipping, lehyam licking, chushyam sucking.
Very nice. Good. Okay, so that is done. Okay. Any question on this verse? Again, Krishna is again giving examples. The daily examples we do every day, literally every day. Okay, eating, drink, go out, sun, moon almost day. If it's not cloudy. Now it's not cloudy in Oregon at least. Every day we are encountering this. The Krishna is giving a chance every day for us to remember him. Simple. So Krishna is not leaving any stones unturned from his side. We just choose to ignore him. That's our problem. Krishna is doing every bit from his side so that we can remember him. We have to do our part by actually seeing the connectivity with Krishna. Okay? Wonderful. Next verse. So we are in the 15th chapter, 15th verse. Aha. Okay. Who will read this verse?
And also, we are full quorum, Prabhu. I think we're only missing Rama Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hariksha, Varsha, Hariksha, with me. Thank you for joining. Yes. And they're back and back. Yes, I think so. Yeah. Yes, who will read the verse? Anyone like to read the verse?
Prabhu, I'll read.
Yes, please go ahead. Thank you.
We are at 15, right, Prabhu?
Yes, 1550.
Sarvasya
Famous.
cha. Wait, who's reading, Prabhuji?
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying famous verse, that's all.
Yeah, famous. Yes,
You
you're
go
right.
ahead then.
Okay. सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तस्मृतिर्ज्ञानम् अपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृद्वेद विद् एव चाहम्. Sarvasya of all living beings, cha and aham I, Shridi in the heart, Sannivishtaha situated, Mattaha from me, Smritihi remembrance, Jnanam knowledge, Apohanam forgetfulness, cha and Vedaihi by the Vedas, cha also, Sarvaihi all, Aham I am, Eva certainly, Vedyaha knowable, Vedantakrit the compiler of the Vedanta, Vedavit the knower of the Vedas, Eva certainly, cha and Aham I. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. The Supreme Lord is situated as Paramatma in everyone's heart, and it is from him that all activities are initiated.
The living entity forgets everything of his past life, but he has to act according to the direction of the Supreme Lord, who is witness to all his work. Therefore, he begins his work according to his past deeds. Required knowledge is supplied to him, and remembrance is given to him, and he forgets also about his past life. Thus, the Lord is not only all pervading, He is also localized in every individual heart. He awards the different fruitive results. He is worshipable not only as the impersonal Brahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the localized Paramatma, but as the form of the incarnation of the Vedas as well. The Vedas give the right direction to people so that they can properly mold their lives and come back to Godhead, back to home. The Vedas offer knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and Krishna in his incarnation as Vyasadeva is the compiler of the Vedanta Sutra. The commentation on the Vedanta Sutra by Vyasadeva in the Srimad Bhagavatam gives the real understanding of Vedanta Sutra. The Supreme Lord is so full that for the deliverance of the conditioned soul, he is the supplier and digester of foodstuff, the witness of his activity, and the giver of knowledge in the form of the Vedas, and as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the teacher of the Bhagavad Gita. He is worshipable by the conditioned soul, thus, God is all good, God is all merciful. Antah pravishtaha shastra jananam. The living entity forgets as soon as he quits his present body, but he begins his work again, initiated by the Supreme Lord. Although he forgets, the Lord gives him the intelligence to renew his work where he ended his last life. So, not only does a living entity enjoy or suffer in this world according to the dictation from the Supreme Lord, situated locally in the heart, but he receives the opportunity to understand the Vedas from him. If one is serious about understanding the Vedic knowledge, then Krishna gives the required intelligence. Why does he present the Vedic knowledge for understanding? Because a living entity individually needs to understand Krishna. Vedic literature confirms this. Yo sau sarvair vedair giyate. In all Vedic literature, beginning from the four Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, and the Upanishads and Puranas, the glories of the Supreme Lord are celebrated. By performance of Vedic rituals, the discussion of the Vedic philosophy, and worship of the Lord in devotional service, he is attained. Therefore, the purpose of the Vedas is to understand Krishna. The Vedas gives us direction by which to understand Krishna and the process of realizing him. The ultimate goal is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedanta Sutra confirms this in the following words: Tat tu samanvayat. Samanvayat. One can attain perfection in three stages. By understanding Vedic literature, one can understand his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By performing the different processes, one can approach him, and at the end, one can attain the supreme goal, who is no other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this verse, the purpose of the Vedas, the understanding of the Vedas, and the goal of the Vedas are clearly defined. Hare Krishna.
Thanks so much. Very nicely read. Thank you. Wonderful verse. Such a often quoted verse by Srila Prabhupada. Rightly so. Okay. Any discussions? Anything?
It's just wonderful how Bhagwan is the source of everything, right, Prabhu? Remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah, I was just thinking sometimes, like,
Sorry?
why you can hear me, right, Prabhu? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Anita. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Prabhu. No, I was thinking why Bhagwan puts us into forgetfulness, like, but otherwise the effect of that never from Hari Pasha Prabhu also, like, what will happen if you remember all your past lives?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the impact it will have on you.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just amazing how, Bhagwan is the source of everything. Just wanted to share.
Yes. Thank you so much. Any other words which you can think of which says Bhagavad is the source of everything?
Aham Sarvasya Prabhu.
Very nice.
Oh,
Thank you.
and then one more verse. There are only two verses where Bhagwan says he's situated in everyone's heart, Prabhu, or more than that.
This is one verse. This is almost
Yeah.
18th chapter.
Hridesh Arjuna Tishtati, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brahmayana Sarvabhutani Yantra Udhari Maya. Yes, so yeah, that verse, one more verse, 18th chapter. These only two verses Krishna actually says something to everyone's heart.
Mm,
This I think, as far as I remember. Yes.
okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Sure. Yeah. Any discussion, any other reflection, anything from the purport? One.
I mean, according to
Right.
this purport, you technically don't need to know all the Vedas. You need to know the purpose of the Vedas,
Yes.
which is the most important. So
Yes.
you need not fret that we are jnanis, that we don't know so many shastras. As long as you know the essence, it is more than
Yes. Yep. But then you need to know what is the essence.
yes.
So that's another part, right? But yes, you're right. There was in Bhagavad Gita
And this
also
verse
talks
is the
about this.
essence, right?
This was the essence, yes. But yeah, this is essence. Krishna is saying at the very
Yeah.
the last two lines is essence.
Yeah.
Vedanta Veda with Eva Chaham, right? Yes. Wonderful. Actually, what you told about, right? I mean, we need only know the essence. We don't have to know all the entire thing. The essence should be known. There's a verse in Bhagavad Gita talking about that. On this line. Can you remember?
Jnananas Tattvadarshina or something.
Mm-hmm. Second chapter में Guru Veda base. Second chapter. There is. Can you read? We can read 2.46.
Yavan Artha Udapane Sarvata Samplutodake
Mm-hmm.
Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu Brahmanasya Vijanataha.
Mm-hmm.
All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served by one who knows the purpose behind them. Reward.
Right? Exactly. Right? What's the story? The purpose behind them. So we don't have to find all the can't, wo can't, this karna. The essence, find the essence. That's you. Do what you can. Find the essence instead of getting lost in all these different. I mean, they're all valid. There is a reason that all exists. It's for different levels of people. But if we have the security, we have the fortune of knowing the essence, you can actually go to the heart of it. We have to go beating around the bush. Right? Yes, wonderful. Thank you. Anything, anyone?
And also reflect on Chaitanya
Mhm.
Mahaprabhu's pastime where he talks to the Brahmanas reading Bhagavad Gita upside down.
Wonderful. And I just opened it right now.
Haribol.
Wonderful, very nice, wonderful. I will show it. Very wonderful. Thank you so much for pointing that out.
Hari
Yes,
bol.
yes, I opened it. I was also thinking same thing. Essence part.
Vivek, you're
Very
in a
nice.
role today.
Oh,
Haribol.
yes. Yeah. Any discussion, anything? कन्या लक्ष्मी they're all quite. I think समझ में आया, I think समझ में नहीं आया कुछ. ये तो ही कैसे? Please to ask or share if you have any questions. Yeah, it's not forcing it, मतलब पूछना ही है. It's not compulsion, but feel free. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the verse. The words are सर्वस्य च अहम I सर्वस्य सबका in the heart sannivishto. I sit I'm situated in everyone's heart. And matta smritir jnana apohanam cha. Remembrance Matta means from me, basically from me, Matta. Smriti and Apohanam. Smriti means remembrance, Apohanam means forgetfulness. Okay. So these two lines, and third line gives a different dimension, different view. So for the first line talks about how Krishna helps people living in the world, or help jivas enjoy the material world by making us forget some things. If you remember everything from the past, you won't be able to live properly. So he helps us forget so we can continue enjoying. Okay, and makes us remember. Remember how when we test and oh yeah, this phrase similar. तो ये जो है ना कि oh I think I've seen this before. Krishna says that the aspect of knowledge which seeks out the sensation of or the previously experienced sensation, that knowledge is another knowledge. The thing by which we can know things, a thing by which when we touch और ये क्या है ये? ये phone है, okay. This knowledge of the connection between the senses and sense objects, the knowledge about that, the knowledge which we get from previous experience. अरे हाँ, I remember something like this 20 years ago. All this remembrance, which is I'm the one who gives that. Right? So from me comes forgetfulness also. At each purpose is in the purpose, right? When living being leaves the body, भूल गए. But if you remember everything, you won't be able to function properly in this world. So to let the jivas enjoy the material world, Krishna says, from Matta, from me comes Apohanam. From forgetfulness also, Krishna says, from forgetfulness also comes from me. Okay? So now Krishna is present in everyone's heart. And it's like personalized Bhagavan, Paramatma to everyone, even with one person. With one person in everyone's heart, still the one person talks individually to each person in the heart. Okay? So each a localized copy, to copy ni, listen copy. Localized person, the same person in everyone's heart, and we get directions, dictations, guidance, Paramatma, we should have the right radio signals, the right frequency, we can catch those signals. Okay. So and from him, he is the one who gives results. The purport. He awards the different fruitive results. Okay. So all the things which we can do or we can't do, Paramatma is the one who gives. Anyone remember the verse of the duty of Paramatma? Paramatma का duty क्या है परमात्मा का?
उपदेशम अनुमंता
उपदृष्टा
उपदृष्टा अनुमंता
तजा भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरा. Which chapter is it?
13th Prabhu.
Yes, 13th chapter. Okay. So Krishna says, Upadishta Anumanta Bharta Bhakta Maheshwara. I'm Upadishta, I overseer, Anumanta, permitter. So we get results, whatever we do, the results we get because of Paramatma. Okay. Now, so Krishna gives us, makes us, Krishna enables Jiva to enjoy in the material world, basically, the material world. And then now Bhagavan shows how he also enables Jivas to get all the material world. Okay. Two things. One is how Krishna, Bhagavan enables us to be in the material world, enjoy the material world by giving remembrance and forgetfulness. And he also gives us the provision to help us get liberated from the material world by giving remembrance and forgetfulness. How? By making remember him and forget the material world. Okay? Make sense? So now Krishna says here, वेदेश्च सर्वेर सर्व वेदों में सर्वे वेदेश्च सर्वे अहम एव वेद्यो. Understand? I am to be known. Ved also means knowledge. So in all the Vedas, among all the Vedas, I am to be known. So Prabhupada quotes in the purport of in the purport, Prabhupada quotes a verse. Wait, there we go. हाँ, यो सौ सर्वेर वेदर गीयते. This is Gopal Tapani Parishad. या असौ Yah asau sarver Veda diyate. That person who is celebrated or glorified in all the Vedas. Who is that? Gopal, Sri Krishna. Okay? And I am to be known indirectly from all. Basically, entire gamut of literature, indirectly or directly, Krishna is to be known. Okay? Vedesha Sarvahama Vedyo. And what? How is it not to be understood? Vedanta Krit. Krit means karna, karoti, writing or the compiler. I am the compiler of the Vedas. And then what? Vedanta Krit. What is the end of Vedas?
Vedanta
Vedanta.
Sutram.
Vedanta.
Vedanta is end.
Vedanta Krit. So the culmination of Vedas is what? The Vedas have, each Veda have 4 parts. Brahmana, Samhita, Aranyaka, and who remembers? Who knows? 4th one. Upanishads. Ishopanishad is the last chapter, first chapter of the Yajurveda. So each Veda has 4 different categories: Brahmana, Samhita, Aranyaka, and Upanishads. Brahmana are for brahmacharis mainly. Samhita for grahasthas. Aranyaka for vanaprasthas. And Veda and Upanishads mainly for sannyasis. That is the traditional way. Okay. Now there's so many branches, so many distinctions, right? Now Krishna is saying, I, by taking the form of Badarayana. Who is Badarayana? Who is Badarayana?
Sukadeva
Vyasadeva.
Goswami.
Sukadeva Goswami is Badarayani.
Vyasadeva.
Vyasadeva is Badarayana. Because he performed penances under the Badara tree. Badara is bear, the bear. The bear fell. The bear fruit. Under the Badara Vriksha, he performed penance. It's called Badarayana. And the fruit of his penance under the Badara fruit, Sukadeva Goswami is called Badarayani. Right? So if you find in Bhagavatam, Shri Badarayani Uvacha, we find like that. In many places, we'll find. So Shri Sukadeva Goswami spoke. Okay, so Krishna is saying, I have produced the final conclusion of all the Vedas as Vedanta Sutra in the form of Badarayana as Vyasadeva. Okay? Then somebody has a question, Arey, but people can explain different meanings of Vedas in their own way. So Krishna says at this verse, कहाँ पे क्या वो? Vedavid. Vedanta लिख दिया मैंने. But saying, Krishna, but Vedanta Sutra is, has so many commentaries. People write different ways, commentaries. They understand different ways. So अभी क्या करें हम लोग? Krishna is saying, ना, Vedavid. I am alone who knows the Veda. Vedavid. I am the alone of the knower of the Veda. Okay? That means Krishna is saying the meaning which I have determined by becoming Badarayana, by becoming Vasudev, is the meaning of the Vedas. And any other meaning is filled with error. Okay? Does that make sense? And what is the natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra?
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Srimad Bhagavatam. Written by whom?
Vyasadeva.
Vasudev. I'll do one more thing, one more aspect I will show you. Okay? This Chaitanya Charitamrita. One second. Okay, so I forgot to say this, show this. Oh yeah, so this is what Vivek was talking about. How we show the essence, right? The essence, we show the essence is as good as knowing the entire gamut. It's good to know the entire gamut, but essence should be known. Ramayana Pandlipur, after reading the entire Ramayana, if you don't know who Ram is, गए भैंस पानी में. Done. But if you don't know much about Ramayana, but you know who Ram is in Tattva, okay, then okay, very good, still nice, very nice. So Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was touring South India, and at one point of time, he arrived at a place called as Sri Rangam, right? Sri Rangam, Sri Ranganath Swami, right? So Sri Ranga Kshetra, a Brahmin used to visit the temple. I'm just reading, okay? He used to visit the temple daily, and he said the entire text of Bhagavad Gita. Okay? The Brahmana regularly read the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita in great transcendental ecstasy. But because he could not pronounce the words correctly, people used to joke about him. I mean, he knew, but his broken Sanskrit broken words. But his other friends or other you know, contemporaries, they all Pandit, such Panditya, no, such learned, no, we learned. This way, अरे क्या पढ़ रहा है? What you can't read properly. But his guru told, go and recite Bhagavad Gita among all the Pandits. Just whatever you say, my Guru Maharaj. Sit there and start reading. And they're saying, "Arey, kya what? What is reading?" Right? But you keep reading. If you see the word here, here, okay, 1 second. Ha. Ashuddha padena. Ashuddha means not pure words. People, if someone say, right? Swa and Shwa. They say, if you read in English, they say sir, and if you see there's a dot, if you see this one, right? Can you see this? This is peacock feather on the top of S, peacock feather on the top. We remove the peacock feather, what happens? Becomes sir. What is what becomes sure? So if you write swa and shwa, you know what is the difference between these two? There's only one peacock feather, one dash difference. But what is the meaning of swa and shwa? Swa means one's own self.
Self. Yeah.
What
Shwa
is
means
shwa?
tomorrow, no?
Huh?
Shwaha means tomorrow, right?
Shwa means dog. Shopake cha. Shopak. One cooks dogs. Shoka also has a meaning, but Shwa, it makes it what I mean is dog with one NS. So I'm saying अशुद्ध पढ़ी used to read, but sometimes अरे श है कि स है क्या है एक sometimes he used to mix and all make a mess. अशुद्ध पढ़े ना. But what used to do? Continue. Let's continue. To this incorrect pronunciation, people sometimes criticized him and laughed at him. But he did not care. He was full of ecstasy due to the Bhagavad Gita and was personally very, very happy. While reading the book, Brahma had transcended bodily transformations. Like what? The hairs on the Pulaka, Ashuru, Kampa. The hairs on the body stood on end. Tears welled up his eyes. Body trembled and perspired as he read. Have you ever felt? At least I have not ever felt like that, reading Bhagavad Gita like that. कभी नहीं हुआ है. Look at this person. Seeing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very, very happy. Mahaprabhu asked him, "My dear sir, why are you such an ecstatic love? Which portion of the Gita gives such transcendental pleasure?" Mahaprabhu replied, I'm illiterate. Basically, I don't know much to read. Therefore, do not know the meaning of the words. Sometimes I read the Bhagavad Gita correctly, sometimes incorrectly. Ashuddha padena. But in any case, I'm doing this in compliance with the orders of my spiritual master. Go there and study. Baba continued. Actually, I only see Sri Krishna sitting on a chariot as Arjuna's charioteer, taking the reins in his hand. He appears very beautiful and blackish. Can you imagine Krishna? Bluish black, look like a 16-year-old boy sitting on the chariot, driving. Aha. This is the form Shri Bhishmadev wanted to see continuously. First canto 9th chapter. He wanted to see that form of Krishna. One of the reasons Bhishmadev was the other side was he didn't want to see the backside of Krishna. He wanted to see Krishna from the front. Right? As long as I read the Bhagavad Gita, I simply see the Lord's beautiful features. Bhishmadev seeing Krishna, features. It is for this reason that in Bhagavad Gita, and the mind cannot be distracted from this. His nishtha is concentration so much. He's in Bhagavad Gita and he's seeing the form of Sri Krishna in front of him holding chariot, showing the Bhakta Vatsalyata, the the let's say the love of love for his devotees, the exhibition of Krishna's love for his devotees, holding the menial position of a charioteer. But Bhagwan, Supreme Bhagwan is taking the position. When I read that, I can't stop my tears coming out. I cannot. My mind is not able to. It's not distracting anywhere. It's focusing on that particular image. Mabu says, "Indeed, you are an authority in the reading of Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you know constitutes the real purport of the Bhagavad Gita." हाँ प्रभु कहे गीता पाठे तुम्हारे अधिकार तुम्ही से जाना यह गीतार अर्थ सार the essence, right? So in this Mahaprabhu embraced the Brahmana. The Brahmana started catching the lotus feet. Or the Lord began to cry. Why? Upon seeing you, my happiness is doubled. I take it that you are the same Lord Krishna. Right? So, we say Mahaprabhu was not impressed by the Panditya, by the knowledge of other Brahmanas. Other people, like Kita Pada, oh, I know all the entire Sanskrit, I know all this. He's not impressed by all this. No, 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 no. Bhagavan is impressed by all this. There's a verse in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. It goes like this. भगवत जनाते रहो क्या होगा this is beautiful verse. It talks about that Krishna doesn't talk about oh remember Vishnave. So if someone says Vishnave, so when we say Tilak Bhag, right? Om Vishnave Nama, right? So Vishna, if someone says Vishnaya Nama is wrong. But it's supposed to be Vishnave. But Krishna says, doesn't matter. I take the bhava of the particular. If you can pronounce correctly, we should pronounce. But if not, Krishna is not very much taken by pronunciation. Galat kiya. I can't give, sorry. No, Krishna not that. Bhavagrahi Janadana. Okay? That's one aspect. Other which I want to show is क्या बोलूं with Ichaham. I got set into this. I forgot Chaitanya Chaitamrita. Okay, got it. Okay. This is in Madhya Lila. Okay. And this one. The liberation of Sabham Bhattacharya. Okay. We talk about Vedanta Sutra, right? Vedanta Sutra. Let's talk about this. Okay. Not here. Not here. Okay. So the personality called as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is a very good personality, historical personality. Okay. Now he used to teach Vedanta to sannyasis. It should be the other way around. But such a scholar, such a personality used to teach sannyasis. So the background is Mahaprabhu came to Jagannath, she had darshan called Jagannath, and in excess he just fainted. And he was there. We asked him to pick him up. Let's take him to my home. And he was there. I said, "Oh, you are a very young sannyasi. You should learn Vedanta. I will teach you Vedanta. Come, I will recite." So he's saying, "I shall continue to recite Vedanta philosophy before God, before you, so that he may remain fixed in his renunciation." Okay? He decided, basic I will teach you. Okay? Then, again, there are many more things here. Let me see if I can. Let's go to the- Okay. Okay. He says, hearing Vedanta philosophy is Sannyas' main business. Therefore, without hesitation, you should study Vedanta philosophy. Talking Vedanta Krit. Hearing it without cessation, a superior person, think me, such humility. Okay, so Mahaprabhu says, okay, you are very merciful to me. Therefore, I think it is my duty to obey you. Please, Mahaprabhu is very, very humble. He will take humble position, and the right time comes, he gives feedback, uppercut. Okay, many, many such instances in. He'll take up, he's very genuinely humble. Oh, please, I'll take whatever you say, I'll take it. Now, for 7 days continually, Mahaprabhu listened to the Vedanta philosophy expounded by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma. However, Mahaprabhu did not say anything and did not indicate whether it was right or wrong. He just kept, okay, continue. Oh, okay. Poker face, no response. Yes, no, right, or kuch nahi. Okay. On the 8th day, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said to Mahaprabhu, you have listened to Vedanta philosophy from me continually for 7 days. You have been simply listening since you were silence. Did not say whether it's right or wrong. You cannot know whether you understand. You do not. I also I have confusion. I have doubt. कुछ भी नहीं मतलब so I'm confused now. Okay, he's saying. So Mahaprabhu says, I am a fool and consequently I did not study Vedanta. I did not study Vedanta Sutra. वैसे नहीं होता उतना नहीं है मति नहीं है. I'm just trying to hear it from you because you ordered me to. That's it. Okay, only for sake of executing duties of renounced order of sannyas, I do a listen. Unfortunately, I cannot in the least understand the meaning of presenting. Very important. Krishna saying, the Mahaprabhu is saying, I cannot understand in the least the meaning you are presenting. Remember I told, what if many people are giving many understanding of Vedas, Vedanta? Krishna saying, I am the only Lord Veda. Whatever instruction, whatever essence, whatever purport which I have given is the sole authority. Then continues. Okay, I accept that you don't understand it. Yet, even one who does not understand inquires of the subject matter. But you keep again and again, you just hear him without saying anything. So I cannot understand what is going on. Okay? Mahaprabhu said, then says, Hinjan starts. Okay? Uppercut. I can understand the meaning of each sutra very clearly. Make it advanced. Okay? Very clearly. But the explanations are simply agitated my mind. Okay? It's like I'm giving my own understanding of Vedanta Sutra without actually understanding what Veda Vyasa have written. He says, the meaning of the aphorisms, sutras, in Veda Sutra contains clear purport in themselves. But other purports we present simply covered the meaning of sutras like a cloud covering the sun. We do not explain the direct meaning of sutras, Brahma Sutra. Indeed, it appears that your business is to cover the real meaning. The Vedanta Sutra is a summary of all Upanishads. Therefore, whatever direct meaning is there in the Upanishad is also recorded in Vedanta Sutra or Vyasa Sutra. For each sutra, the direct meaning must be accepted without interpretation. Or simply you abandon the direct meaning and proceed with imaginative interpretation. Okay? So there's more thing which he gives, continually gives. So the essence of this may be a little bit too technical, but just to make it on record. Srila Jiva Goswami, in his writing of Tattva Sundarbha, he makes a beautiful point of how Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of Vedanta Sutra. He starts with Gayatri. Many things he talks about and establishes Srimad Bhagavatam is the commentary, the explanation of Srila Vyasadeva on the Vedanta Sutra. Basically, if you study Srimad Bhagavatam, is as good as studying the entire Vedic literature, entire Vedanta Sutra. Is as good as that. If you can understand, if you study, if you immerse your mind in Srimad Bhagavatam, if you give a heart to Srimad Bhagavatam, done deal. Vedavid, person will know the essence of Vedas fully. Okay? Any questions on this same thing?
So, Baladev Vidyabhushan, when he was asked to write a commentary in a very short while, right, he wrote it on Vedanta Govinda Bhashyam is on Srimad Bhagavatam or on Vedanta Sutra?
So, because traditionally, if you want to Sampradaya to be bona fide, accepted, you need to have a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra.
Okay, yeah, like
That's why
Sri
we have
Bhashyam.
Sri Bhashya is there. We have Vishu Swami's, Madhvacharya. Everyone is written. For Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Mahaprabhu said there's no need to write. Srimad Bhagavatam is natural commentary. There's no need. So no devotee ever thought of writing commentary. Because Bhagavatam already there, not to write. But because there's an issue there in Raja Jai Singh in Jaipur, Rajasthan, the Rajput, all these incidents happened. Therefore, he had to write. And boy, he wrote. Because it's called Govinda Bhashya, because Govinda literally spoke to him and he wrote it down. Govinda Bhashya. It's the words of Govinda himself. That is a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra and they explain beautifully. Yeah. Sorry, long answer short.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Have you read Govinda Bhashyam, Prabhu? You refer.
No, it's too complicated. For me to remember, it's too long. In sections I read, but not fully. No. Many things. This Adhikaran, that Adhikaran, many things are there.
And there are aphorisms.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Adhikaran means sections. This
Sections.
Adhikaran, these padas, and these shlokas, sutras. That.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hey, thank you. Any other questions? I spoke for a long time, I think so, but any questions? Anything which you did not understand? क्या बकवास कर रहा है कुछ भी जो भी है anything at all. If you understood, share that also. What you thought about it. Anything.
I just had a question, Prabhu. Vedanta
Yes.
Sutra is commentary on Vedas.
The Vedas Sutra is like, I said, Vedas is a lot, right?
Yeah.
The
When you
essence
say
of
Vedas, you mean the four Vedas.
the four Vedas, especially. Okay?
Okay.
But Veda also means the
Then
entire gamut
what was
literature
it that
also.
you were saying? Each of these four Vedas has four subcategories.
Yes. And the essence of the Vedas, so if you see Veda, the first three parts, Brahmana, Samhita, Aranyaka, they all talk about material aspects, living in this world. So one who has attained, अरे यार बस हो गया नहीं, I don't want to be in the world anymore. Then comes Acha. Then your Adhikar for Upanishad starts.
Okay.
And the Upanishad is very cryptic also, very complicated. Many things are there. अरे समझे कैसे मतलब essence क्या है? So Shri Vyasdev codified
So there is an Upanishad for Rigveda, for all Vedas.
in them. So Shri Isha Upanishad is part of Yajurveda.
Yajurveda. Okay.
There may be Upanishads. So all the Kathopanishad, Shvetashad Upanishad, all the part of different Vedas. So now the Vedanta. So the end, not Vedanta. The end of the culmination of Vedas is Upanishads. Now so many Upanishads. So what Vasudev did, he codified the essential teachings of these Upanishads. They called Vedanta Sutras. If you did you attend Harivansh Prabhu's classes? Harivansh Prabhu?
No.
No, I thought you must have attended. I thought Vivek, Viji, did you attend?
Yeah, Prabhu.
But the first lecture he did. But the first verse he quoted. Remember?
Sarvam Kalvamitam Brahmam.
He
took a
he
verse.
he gave the definition of sutra. Remember that? You open your phone when you get 4 minute chance. He the definition of sutra. Let me just open it up. Just quickly show. Okay, 1 second.
In this series, Prabhu, I remember
Yeah.
looking at that, Prabhu.
He says, see,
Narada Sutra.
Alpa Akshara. Alpa Aksharama, see, Alpa Aksharama Sandigdham Saravid Vishwatomukham. Ringable, the first verse. Alpa Akshara Sandigdham. Alpa Akshara is very small, very few words, but Sandigdham, but without any doubt. There's no ambiguity, very, very clear. So there are different symptoms of sutras, of sutra. So he codified the essence of the Upanishads in sutras, in small aphorisms. That's called Vedanta Sutra. Okay. And different people have commentary or saying, हाँ इसका मतलब क्या है? तो ये उपनिषद में देखो, ये बताया, ये उपनिषद में देखो, ये बताया. And then they explain on the sutra. That's why you have different commentaries. Sharirika Bhashya, Shri Bhashya, Govind Bhashya.
Okay.
Good. But Vyasdev himself also wrote a commentary. Understood? What is the name of the commentary of Vasudev on Vedanta Sutra?
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Srimad Bhagavatam. Cool, Rania? Makes sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, perfect.
And also this, so Vedanta Sutra is the ultimate law of word of law, right? But nobody can oppose or contradict whatever is said. I mean, it's like,
If give proper if give proper understanding, yes, that's it.
ah,
But because it's subject to interpretation for interpretations, then becomes Radhikari to कौन सा right है? Now there are other sutras also. There's Patanjali Yoga Sutra, this Kanad, Vaisheshika. कौन सा पढ़े अभी? So Jiva Goswami systematically brings down, cuts the fat, and brings the focus on Srimad Bhagavatam. There's a whole discussion on this. So basically, the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, or in Srimad Bhagavatam, the essence of Vedanta Sutra is Srimad Bhagavatam. And Vedanta Sutra itself is very dry. This was story, right? It's very dry. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, if you take the entire philosophical concepts of Bhagavad Gita is present in Srimad Bhagavatam. But Bhagavad Gita doesn't have, but Bhagavatam has something which Gita doesn't have. What is it?
story, it's a Purana.
Pastimes.
Yes, pastimes. Gita doesn't have that. But the entire philosophical concept of Gita is present in Bhagavatam. So Tattva is also there, Rasa is also there in Bhagavatam. Replete with it. Okay? Taking the importance of Bhagavatam. Okay? Sorry. Everyone else okay? Lakshmi, Varsha, over the head, too much, too less.
All okay, Prabhu.
Okay?
Yeah.
Persevering Varsha. Varsha, do you understand
Yeah,
with
good.
the questions?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we finished verse number 15. Okay, we'll continue verse 16 next week. Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Wonderful week. See you next week.